Are you a DPS who can't seem to stay alive when you're fighting the dragons in Elsweyr? If so, I'm going to give you 10 tips right now that will help keep you from dying. Don't go away. Hey, what's up? I'm the Stars from the Stars Gaming, and welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more tips, tricks, and guides on Elder Scrolls Online housing, gold making, and other ESO related things, start right now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you won't miss out on anything. Before I begin, I want to give a quick shout out to Julilla1 for all the great comments on my other videos. Thanks very much, Julilla. I really appreciate it. Keep them coming. If you've seen any of my other dragon videos for ESO, then you know that I've spent a lot of time fighting these things. Too much time, probably. I spent hours upon hours farming them to learn all that I could about them for my videos, as well as for the crafting recipes that they drop. The information that I've learned is something that I want to share with you guys now. As a DPS, you're spec'd for damage, but not much survivability. You're a glass cannon, which isn't bad. It can, however, make it really hard for you to fight the dragons in Elsweyr because they hit really hard. I know some of these tips may seem like a no-brainer, but I see people dying to the dragons all of the time, so I thought I'd share with you my 10 tips on how to survive when fighting them. By the way, my number one tip is a secret, but I'm going to share it with you anyways.
10.
Make sure to eat or drink first. Before you go into a fight, make sure you eat or drink whatever your buff of choice is. I'd suggest that you have something that is a tri-stat item. Yes, I know that more than likely you're Magicka, so obviously you'll want that and your health buffed up to the max, but you'll also need plenty of stamina as well, and I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video.
9.
Stay as far back as possible. This one seems so obvious, but I'm constantly seeing players run in too close and get destroyed by the dragons. Figure out your maximum range so you can stay out of harm's way. When you're back far enough, you don't have to worry about being hit by one of the wings or the tail. Believe me, that hurts. It also gives you extra time to react to the dragon's special attacks, like when they Fusra Da and its sweeping fire breath.
8.
Have a way to heal yourself. Make sure you have a self-heal on your bar so that you can use it when needed. It doesn't hurt to have a health potion slotted that you can use too. Although I do see plenty of other players healing everyone around them, which is awesome. Remember that they're all busy running around trying to take the dragon down and don't have time to look for you to heal you. If you can heal yourself, then you don't have to rely on others.
7.
Only fight the adds if they attack you. When the dragons do what I call their bombardment run, where they fly around the area spitting out firebombs, or their strafing run, where they blast a path through the middle of the zone with their fire breath, they spawn different mobs. If you start fighting them, you could get distracted by the actual attacks from the dragon, and that's a sure way for you to take a dirt nap. I'll go over how to avoid the adds a little later on in the video as well. Here's a hint though. It's part of the secret tip at number 1.
6.
Always have stamina ready. In tip number 10, I told you that you should buff up with a tri-stat food or drink. If you're a Magicka character, you're going to need as much stamina as possible. The reason being is that roll dodge will be your best friend. When you roll dodge, you take no damage, or at least very little. But you need stamina to do it. Boosting your stamina will let you have that extra 1 or 2 rolls that could save your life.
5.
Know your surroundings. There's nothing worse than trying to roll away from a Fusra Da and diving right into a tree, a rock, or any other obstacle. When that happens, you have no choice but to die. That's why it's so very important to pay attention to what's around you. Try to stay clear of objects, which can be tough, especially when you're in the middle of a tough fight, but always keep in mind where you are. Take a second to look around real quick to see that the area that you're in is clear.
4.
Know your dragons. Currently, there are 2 kinds of dragons that you'll fight in Elsweyr, a gray one and a red one. Knowing that gives you an advantage because each has different attacks. The gray one, for example, uses fiery rocks coming up out of the ground that shoot out little fireballs that also spawn other fiery rocks that come up out of the ground. The red one, on the other hand, drops fireballs from the sky at you. Knowing this allows you to mentally prepare and plan for the fight ahead so you know what you need to do and what to look out for and avoid.
3,
Watch out for strafing runs. Every dragon does a strafing run where it'll fly around, then turn, and use its dragon breath to blaze a fiery path across the land. I can't tell you how many people still won't get out of the way. My friends and I have thought about doing a Pint Nights video. Pint Nights are on my playlist if you're interested. Shameless plug. Where we take a shot for every little cross that we see when people die during a strafing run. The only problem with that is that we wouldn't be able to make it past the first dragon on most nights. When you see the dragon circling the sky above you, move to the side of their area as fast as you can. And once he's done with his strafing run, remember to stay out of the middle until the fire is out. It will kill you just as quickly as if you run into it or it hits you directly with its fire breath.
2,
Stay behind the dragons. Yes, I know it's not the best view in the house, but staying behind the dragons, well, behind, is the safest area there is. You won't have to worry about any of the shouts since he's facing away from you. You'll also be safe from its wings that lash out and can one-shot kill you, as well as the 3 little fire tornadoes that come out from its wings. You still have to be aware of the dragon's tail so it won't swipe you out of existence, but if you stay back out of its range, you'll be just fine.
1,
Secret tip. Okay, tip number 1 has not been talked about on YouTube ever as far as I know. And I've done my research. I've looked to see if anybody else has mentioned this or brought this up, and nobody has. This tip will not only keep you from being targeted on the dragon's bombardment run, but it will also prevent the ads from targeting you as well. It'll be like you're not even there. Ready? Here it is. Hide. When you see the dragon start to fly up in the air, you can run to an object near you and hide. It could be a tree, a rock, a building, as long as it's bigger than you. Just squat down next to that object and go into stealth mode. You will never be the target of an attack from the bombardment or by any of the ads that pop up. The fireworms, the fire atronoxes, the iron atronoxes. While you're still stealth and not detected, they won't attack you. You can just be patient, and then once the dragon lands, go back out and keep fighting. Now keep in mind that if another player runs by you that's been targeted, then you can still get hit with collateral damage. To avoid this though, just find a spot farther away than most people are. So that's it. These are the 10 things that I do to stay alive when fighting dragons. To be honest, by following these, I almost never die. Yes, there are times when I do something stupid that gets me killed, but that's on me. If you learn and follow these tips, you'll spend more time taking down the dragons and less time using your soul gems. If this video helped you, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be kept in the loop when more videos come out.